Hello friends, I hope everyone's week has been good. Mine has not been the best, not gonna lie. But I'm working through it. Did a difficult thing and it's still affecting me in different ways. And that's funny. I've been trying to learn about patience recently, and this next card is impatient. Look for patterns of your impatience. Notice the negative physical symptoms it causes you. Take deep breaths and slow down. I think that's kind of cool. Anyway, yeah, I guess I'll do that again so you can read it. There's that. Okay, now let's do chapter 5, shall we? The floor won't come clean. Samira's been trying for something like 7 hours. But no matter how much she scrubs, there's always one more spot to find. Currently, she's crouched over a piece of darkened tile near the foot of the stove, running a sponge across it with mad abandon. Each time she pushes the sponge forward, the tile is clean, but whenever she pulls it back, a small red streak appears. The rest of her apartment floor, all 400 square feet of it, shines with almost insane brilliance. An immune-deficient person could perform surgery on this floor while eating a sandwich and come out with fewer germs than when he started. And yet, there's the one stupid streak. It's starting to drive her mad. She's on a set of bruised hands and knees, wearing nothing but a weathered army issue t-shirt and a pair of black boxer shorts. The room smells so strongly of bleach that her eyes burn. She's gone through 3 sponges already, scrubbing and scrubbing until they dissolve into a ragged pile of yellow fibers. But she still keeps at it. It's that damn red streak. It taunts her like something from a Lady Macbeth fever dream. Forward clean, back red. Forward clean, back red. She's crying again. Either from fumes or frustration or a combination of both. Her hands have been gripping sponges for so long that her fingers are stuck in a permanent claw. Have you ever cleaned something that intensely? 'Cause I know I have. It feels pretty permanent right then. Anyway, her knees are screaming in pain from being pressed against the tile of her cheap Brooklyn walk-up. But she keeps going. Gotta get that red streak, gotta get it, then you can rest. Samira pulls back on the sponge and the streak returns, larger and more vibrant than ever. She makes a tiny noise of frustration and dips the sponge into her bleach bucket, an action that causes pain to fire up her arms and straight to her head. She cries out and drops the sponge, pulling her left hand back to her chest. Holding it with the right as if it might try to break off and run away. Her knuckles on fire, she curls into a small ball on the floor, shuts her eyes as tightly as she can, and waits for the worst of the pain to go away. For a second, she's afraid that she's going to pass out, but eventually the agony begins to diminish. It's not gone by any means, but it's no longer the same stabbing intensity it was a few moments ago. Samira rolls on her back and opens her eyes, staring up into the dim yellow glow of her kitchen light. As she does, she sees small feathers of dust clinging to the edges of the fixture and makes a mental note to remove them once she can stand. A quick glance at her fridge and stove revealed them to be showroom clean, and for this she's thankful. If she had to clean the appliances, she might just lose it altogether. Her apartment contains a single window, which she's open to allow some of the fumes to escape. As she lies on the floor and debates whether or not to look at her hand, she can hear a group of people moving on the street below. They're laughing and screaming and drunk, and for a brief second she feels terribly envious. But then a memory shoves its way into her mind. A severed head, eyes open, rotting in the desert sun. The tongue has been removed and the word traitor carved into the forehead. At this thought, Samira's envy dissolves into grief. She knew the owner of the head once, had even been to his house for tea, but now he was just one more anonymous horror to add to the list. This is fun. Samira shakes her head to clear the vision, then turns her attention to the injured hand. Where her knuckles should have contained skin, there was just 4 red blots. She looks from the knuckles to the floor and back again and suddenly realizes the identity of the mysterious red streak. She's been cleaning her own blood off the floor for the better part of an hour. Oh, great, she mutters. Now I have to throw the sponge away. A combination of adrenaline and insomnia makes this a funny thought. She starts giggling madly. She rolls on her side and giggles some more, and then uses her good hand to push herself to her feet. Swaying unsteadily, still giggling, she walks out of the kitchen and into the bathroom, where she tosses bottles and ointments to the ground one after another until she finally finds a roll of medical gauze and a tube of Neosporin. Thus armed, Samira sits on the toilet, which could use a good scrubbing, even though she knows she gave it one yesterday. Squeezes a copious amount of first aid gel over her knuckles and begins to wrap the bandage around her hand. She works quickly and without thought. And soon her hand looks like a lopsided baseball. Satisfied, she seals the end of the gauze to each other with a bit of medical tape, then stares at her new digits to see if any blood will soak through. The pain is starting to return in full force, and she dimly wonders if she has any more Oxycontin floating around. Samira is in the process of bending down and looking under her seat for rogue pills when she's interrupted by a bell. She can't figure out where the noise is coming from, so she stands and wanders drunkenly back into the studio portion of her studio apartment. The noise seems familiar in a vague kind of way, but she's having trouble placing it. Phone? Samira asks the empty air in front of her. Is that my phone? It's been weeks since anyone actually called her, long enough that Samira has forgotten the sound of her own cell. But as the ringing continues, a familiar feeling begins to come back. Yeah, she says again. That's my phone. Now where did I? Turning on unsteady feet, she moves in a slower circle until the noise gets louder. After a series of fits and starts, she shuffles over to a gleaming white countertop and peers behind a large teapot. where her phone is sitting in its charger and merrily chirping away. Samira stares at the screen, her vision blurring from the pain of her ravaged hand, until she finally makes out the words, "Unknown caller." "I don't know who that is," she says to the teapot. When the vessel doesn't respond, she extends her good hand to the phone, slowly picks it up. The device is halfway to her ear before she hears noise coming from the speaker, a kind of whistling, airy sound that reminds her of a convoy driving at speed through a sandstorm. "Hello?" she croaks, her voice hoarse from the chemical fumes permeating her apartment. "Sam?" screams a cheerful voice from the other end. "Sam, is that really you?" Samira blinks a few times, causing her vision to blur even further. "Sam? No one calls me Sam. No one has called me that since. Who is this?" "It's me!" "Who is this?" she says more forcefully than before. "It's me, Sam! It's Talk!" The phone slips out of Samira's hand and clatters to the floor. She can hear a voice coming from it, but it sounds very far away. Her blurry vision compresses down even further until all she can see is a colorful, flowered teapot floating in an ocean of inky blackness. Her blurry vision compresses down even further until all she can see is a colorful, flowered teapot floating in an ocean of inky blackness. "I've gone insane," she thinks as bright white sparkles begin fluttering in front of the teapot. "This is it. I've finally cracked. So long, reality. I hope the Section 8 ward is clean." She feels faint, but somehow manages to pull herself together. The sparks slowly fade, the blackness retreats, and light returns to her world. Moving like a victim at a bad hypnotism show, she reaches down for the phone and once again puts it to her ear. "You're dead," she whispers at the voice on the other end of the line. "You're dead. You can't call me. You're dead." "I'm not dead, Sam. You hung yourself in a motel room. There was a funeral. You're dead." "Sam, I swear to God, I'm not dead. I was going to hang myself, but then this company called and I went to work for them and they faked my death." "I don't believe you," says Samira as her lower lip trembles. "I'm going to hang up now." Wait! Shouts the voice. "Okay, listen. You remember that night where you and me drove to that club to see Kelly's band? He was so stoned he only played like 3 songs before he knocked over his keyboard and stormed off the stage? And what about when we went down to the beach and I almost drowned and you had to pull me out of the water, huh? Come on, you have to remember that. Oh, I kissed you on the mouth. I kissed you in the back of Hillary's car and you said your dad was going to kill me and I said bonsai and you thought that was really funny. Come on, Sam, it's me." Samira's legs give out at this point and she slowly slides down to the side of her counter and onto the bleach-coated floor. She wants to say something, but she's crying far too hard to make any words come out. Part of Samira's brain is screaming at her to stop with the crying and say something sensible. but all she can concentrate on is the fact that her friend is alive. The emotion of this discovery is overwhelming everything else. Sam, says Talk again. Sam, are you there? Talk! Oh my God, Talk, where have you been? The background whistling sound is louder now, and Samira suddenly realizes that Talk is driving a car and talking at the same time. Judging by the howl of the wind, he must be moving incredibly fast. Jesus, Sam, I'm sorry! I'm so fucking sorry. I couldn't tell you I was okay. I couldn't take the risk. The guys I work for are really terrible people, and I don't know what they would have done. Listen, he continues, I'll explain everything when I see you, but I need you to do something. It's the most important thing you're ever going to do in your life, so you have to do exactly what I say, all right? Samira nods, realizes that Talk can't see her, and manages to squeak out a noise of agreement. Her vision blurs again, then alights on the streak of blood near the bucket. There is a brief, wonderful moment when she realizes that she doesn't give a damn about the unclean patch of tile. Then Talk starts speaking again. There's a trans-air flight leaving JFK in 11 hours. He says, it's going to Omaha, Nebraska, and you have to be on it. What? Talk? No, I can't get on a plane. You have to. Samira suddenly feels a very strong urge to put down the phone and find a new sponge. Talk. I can't even ride a subway. Look, you've been gone a long time, and there's a lot of stuff happened to me, and I can't do it. There's a noise on the other end that sounds like a siren. Talk doesn't speak for a few seconds, and Samira can almost feel the fear coming from his side of the call. But then the siren wails past his car and off into the distance, and he's back on the line. Christ! That scared the hell out of me, he said with maniacal good cheer. Okay, so it's Transair Flight 607. Pack a bag and get on it. And don't check anything. Carry on only, all right? I can't. God damn it, Samira, listen to me. 22 hours from now, something insane is going to happen, and I can't get to you in time, okay? I'm in the middle of Nevada, and I have to keep stealing cars every few hours, and it's really slowing me down, so I can't make it to New York. You're going to have to come to me. You're stealing cars? Yeah, there's a bunch of angry guys with guns chasing me, so I can't stay in the same car for more than a few hours at a time. But listen, I don't have time for this. I have to get a new phone before they start tracing me. What's in 22 hours? Asks Samira. What happens? You're going to die, says Talk. This pulls Samira short. Her friend says it with such finality that she has no fear that he might be making it up or exaggerating. He clearly believes this to be true. Talk. Wait, I don't understand. I know, okay. I know. I can't explain it now. I've only got like 20 seconds left here, and then I gotta go. Just get on the plane. The thought of getting on a plane, of locking herself in that tiny space with all of those people, makes Samira's stomach clench. She feels the word no drift from her lungs and up to her lips. But before she can get it out, her eyes move back to the bucket and the red streak on the floor. You have to go, she thinks, in a sudden moment of clarity. If you don't, we'll stay here and clean things until the army bundles you in a plane and sends you off to the mountains to shoot at goat herders and get blown up by IED. You have to go. Okay, she says finally. Okay. Bonsai! That's my Sam? Okay, I've got to... Oh, wait. Don't eat anything. Not a thing. Empty stomach. I'm not hungry. Good. We'll eat when you get here. Super important. Okay, I gotta run. See you in 15 hours. There's a loud click as the phone goes dead. Samira drops the cell and slowly rises to her feet. Her army-issue duffel bag is in a pile near the front door. She dropped it there when she came home from her last tour of duty and never bothered to move it. Inside are a few shirts, a couple pairs of pants, some underwear, and a copy of her favorite Murakami book. She looks at the duffel for an eternity, the smell of bleach and blood filling her nostrils, then lets her gaze move to the red streak at the foot of the stove. You don't need to pack yet. You don't have to. You can finish cleaning that spot. And there's the dust on the light. Remember that? You need to clean that. You've got time. You can do it before you go. You've got hours before the flight. Maybe you don't even need to catch it at all. There's so much to do here. So much to clean. Half an hour later, a dazed-looking girl in a yellow sundress hails a cab and promises the driver an extra 50 if he can get you to JFK in 20 minutes. They make it in 15. It says amends on this one. There you go. Took a few tries because my phone was running out of space, and it's because it didn't want to delete stuff. So I had to do a bunch of deleting and more deleting because it wouldn't actually go. So anyway, that was definitely a fun chapter. I love this book, and I don't remember everything about it. It was a really long time, and I've only read it once before, so that's exciting. On another note, I did finish a book recently. If anyone's heard of the book Oathbringer, it's really, really good. It's the third in the series of the Stormlight Archive. If anyone cares to read it, it's really, really good. I love it so much. It just kept getting better, and that's something that I love about Brandon Sanderson books, is they just continue to get better. That's how a lot of books that I like do their thing. Ooh. Yeah. Especially, like, A Wrinkle in Time. I don't know. I think it's just the Wrinkle in Time series, but it's Madeline L'Engle, and she's wonderful. Her books are incredible. Also, since I'm getting a roommate, I moved my bookcase in here, and I was going to make a video of me pulling it in here and putting books on it, because I'm very particular about how I want my books. It's kind of annoying sometimes for me, because I don't like being picky. But I am picky about certain things, especially my books. They mean more to me than pretty much, most humans, I guess I should say. Shouldn't say pretty much all, but most, for sure. Anyway, I hope everyone has a wonderful day. I also have school, that's a thing. I have school, so I might have less time to make these videos, but I will try. I will try very hard to keep posting whenever I can. But anyway, I love you, friends. Have a good night, and see you on the other side.